Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at laws for landlords and tenants, and we are trying to figure out who is responsible for dealing with lead in drinking water in a rental home. And one thing you have to take into account is you're living there. So if you find lead, if you do some testing yourself, or better yet, you have a third party and you find lead in your drinking water, what should you do? And specifically, what is the best course of action if the landlord says no, or I'm not taking care of that? There are some steps and actions that you may want to consider. So first, the FAQ, the frequently asked question. A lot of people ask this even through around the world. Who's responsible for dealing with lead in drinking water in a rental home? Well, the landlords are ultimately responsible for the building. So they're responsible for the water. Well, landlords must make sure their rental properties meet minimum conditions under the minimum housing and health standards. For example, every building must have water that is safe for human consumption, or other known as potable water supply. So they have to make sure that the water is safe. It is on them. And as we know, there's no safe amount of lead. So if lead is found and they say, oh, it's just a small amount, or it's not something significant to hurt you, know that not all heavy metals are created equally, and lead is probably, if not the most dangerous one, definitely up there with those heavy metals. And because of that, you want to make sure that there's no lead in the water supply, even if there's a small amount that needs to be addressed. In addition, health authorities have recognized concerns with lead in drinking water. And they also have guidelines for the drinking water, which include a maximum acceptable lead concentration in drinking water. Now, that may go from different state to state, but the EPA, the CDC, has very clear guidelines on what that is. And that's something you need to take a look at. That being said, there's no safe amount. So tenants who are concerned about potential lead in drinking water can contact their landlords and write a letter outlining their concerns. You can also call them, email them, but you want to get a hold of the landlord and have them address it. Why? Because it's something that you're going to use every day. It's your water. So you have to make sure that it's safe. And that's something you have to talk to your landlord about right away. Now, if they don't take steps to deal with it, and they don't regret your concerns, they don't look at your concerns, they don't address your concerns, tenants can also try contacting their public health office for more information. So you can contact the public health office, you can talk to health department, and you can also talk to third-party independent companies, have your water tested, and then find out different types of ways for remediation. And landlords can call their water utility provider or municipality to find out about water testing. So the landlord can initiate testing too. But with that being said, who's ever doing the testing, it's always important, especially if you're living in an apartment, to have your water periodically tested, whether that process is initiated by you or the landlord.